In one recent series, migration of plastic stents used for benign disease was frequently encountered. For example, in benign strictures in 80% of the time, anastomotic strictures 75%, in fistulas and leaks 59%, and less frequently in radiation-induced strictures 28.6%. Most of the time, migrated stents in the stomach are not difficult to remove. However, difficult situations with prolonged procedure times and repeated failures to capture and remove the stent do occur. The more removal attempts and the more force is used, the higher the stress on the weakened sections of the anatomy is. This is important especially when stents need to be removed after anastomotic leaks and perforations. The common problem of stent slippage is avoided by piercing a fine needle aspiration needle through the front and back end of a migrated plastic stent close to its end. Subsequently, a guide wire is advanced through an FNA needle and received with a polypectomy snare, which is coming through the other working channel of the therapeutic gastroscope. Once both ends of the guide wire are outside the endoscope, effective control of the withdrawal force is possible. This force can be so considerable that an overtube is being used to reconstrain or capture the stent rather than allowing it to be pulled, expanded through potentially weakened and non-compliant tissue, such as a healed anastomotic leak. In vivo, the guide wire will follow the curvature of the stomach, allowing its capture with a polypectomy snare advanced through the working channel of the therapeutic gastroscope. A polypectomy snare captures the 0.025 or 0.035 guide wire advanced through the FNA needle through the stent in this fashion. It is important that the assistant advances the guide wire through the FNA needle while the operator pulls the guide wire through the channel. Once both ends of the wire are coming out of the working channels of the therapeutic gastroscope, these can be taken into one hand and pulled. This force will pleat the stent, readying it for removal into the overtube, as can be seen in a later movie. The stent is now ready for retrieval. As can be seen, pulling in one direction in the axial direction will also exert a force in a sagittal direction, crimping the stent or constraining it, allowing it to enter the overtube. This brief video sequence shows the essential steps of the removal method in vivo. Removal of stents in this manner is mechanically fairly predictable, avoids trauma, and can be completed in approximately 15 minutes or less. Here you see the fine needle aspiration needle piercing the silicone membrane of the stent. And it's now completely transfixed. A guide wire is seen being expected by the polypectomy snare for removal. The first attempt does not capture the guide wire, but the second one does. The guide wire is withdrawn into the second channel of the therapeutic gastroscope, while the FNA needle is backed out. A crucial step of the removal procedure is the pulling on the guide wire, which basically constrains the stent, pulls it together, and allows it to go into the overtube. Most of our experience is in removal of plastic stents from the stomach, but this method is also adaptable to migrated metal stents rather than just plastic stents, and could be used in the esophagus. We would like to hear from you and contribute your own experience. The disposable equipment used was the Gauss overtube, especially the gastric length type for the therapeutic endoscope by US Endoscopy in Mentor, Ohio, the EchoTip Ultra endoscopic ultrasound 19 gauge needle from Wilson Cook in Bloomington, and the usual .035 guide wires and polypectomy snares. We thank Jane Reinhardt, Clark Brizendine, and Colin MacDonald for their contributions. Thank you.